Okay, so before the video starts, I'm giving away the items shown on screen. All you need to do to enter the giveaway is to follow the steps down in the descriptions, and I will see you in the video. Hello guys, and welcome to a new video. In this video I'm gonna be reacting to, or not reacting, I'm gonna be responding to WarOwls PUBG competitive potential video. I'm gonna be saying my thoughts about it, what he says, because obviously he's a Cisco YouTuber, so maybe he doesn't know exactly what to say, and I think I've got a pretty decent idea of how the development have thought when they did this game, and yeah, I'm just gonna watch the video now.
Greetings, the WarOwl greets you. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is the new undoubtedly. The game must be made to encourage skillful play, where putting in hours and hours of practice can generate great results. This is also where nuanced tactical play comes in. Number 2, a large player base. For a game to succeed as an esport, there needs to be a large number of players interested in the game. Unlike traditional sports, where most viewers are too physically invalid to even attempt to play the game at all, esports viewers are people who love to play the game just as much as watch. Number 3, an entertaining and accessible viewing experience.
And before he comes into this, I think he's gonna say it because it's a very big point that the viewing experience is, I would say, the most lack they have in the uh, esport and competitive potential. Uh, of course, we got all the bugs with getting stuck on rocks, like we still PUBG still has many bugs that I have to fix. I think they have to fix all the bugs before they even think of doing another tournament, because you saw how the other tournament went. I know at least 2 guys got stuck on rocks, which sucks because when you can't do anything. Like, well, they can't start the game over again. Like, it doesn't work like that. But yeah, it had a lot of flaws. It's the only thing I gotta say.
By accessible, I mean you have to be a small player base despite having a high skill ceiling and a great viewing experience. Overwatch has a very poor viewing experience despite having a ridiculously large player base. So how many of these elements does Battlegrounds have, and which could be improved upon? Clearly the game has a large player base, larger than we've seen in the past for a Steam game. The game's mechanics also give it a high skill ceiling, of which I don't think we'll be able to really know the true extent of until the game is finished and the esports side of things starts ramping up. For example, every AR weapon has a reliable spray pattern like Counter-Strike.
Yeah. And here's the thing: if you're gonna have a spray pattern, you need one thing you need to do is to have a single player world. If the game wanna be one of the best games in the world, which it has potential to be, that's a fact, they obviously have to have, I think, rank, because the game will get much more competitive. People are gonna play more serious and stuff like that. Also, single player world to train and stuff like that. To if it's going to go esport, teams need to have something to practice on. They can't just practice on like online matches. They need to train tactics like smokes, flashes, or stun grenades, as it says in the game. Stuff like that, nades, like stuff like that is that CS:GO that you'd think all games should have, but PUBG doesn't have it, and I think it's it's a little bit lazy on the PUBG side. I think that add a single player world should be pretty easy. They already got the map. All they need to do is make it so it's single player. Like, I don't see the hard thing. I think before maybe fix all the bugs before they release new maps, like stuff like that. Because a lot of player get angry when you release new maps when it isn't even fixed the game, like release new vehicles when the game isn't fixed, stuff like that, I think. But if they fix all the bugs and add a competitive like ranks, so it's more competitive, and because now like the ranks you get the rank points doesn't really matter that much, but if you have ranks you're gonna new players are gonna have a much greater time because you're gonna meet people in your own rank, which is pretty good. And PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds have enough players, very much enough players to have ranks, so I don't think it should be hard to add to the game. Not the single player world, I don't think should be hard too. I'm not really that good at programming, but the stuff I know, I don't think it should be that hard.
But since we don't really have the means to practice these in a private server
Yeah.
for hours and hours, very few people really have a good grasp on it. Also notice how some streamers seem nearly invincible, like Shroud. They have enough experience in competitive games and enough practice in this one to be a lot better than every other player. You see this when a pro player decides to pug inside of any other game. A large criticism I've seen in regards to the skill ceiling is the level of RNG in the game, or randomness. Now, I disagree with this to an extent. Everyone starts in the same place and has a decision.
Yeah, I really don't think the RNG has something to do. I don't believe in. I think if you're a good player, you're gonna have luck. If you are a bad player, you're gonna have luck sometimes, but most likely you don't gonna have luck. I think if you're a good player, you're gonna have luck, and it's the guy with the most luck. It's that in every game. If you get the drop on someone, it's luck. Timing in CS:GO is key. For example, that's luck. Like stuff like that. I think it's in every game. Luck matter, but I don't think like people say that the circle shouldn't be as random. I think that's bullshit. I think if you're a good player and doesn't get the circle, you know how to position yourself so you get the circle and you get into the circle. You know where to go. You know where how the terrain looks like and stuff like that. And so I don't think like people say they should change so it's isn't isn't random. I think no, they should have it's random. It should be. It's just stupid if they wouldn't have it random. But yeah, that's my thoughts at least. Comment your thoughts down below if you think the same as me on that. Really like to hear you guys. I really like to hear you guys. I really like you guys commenting down below and your thoughts on stuff like this. So don't forget to comment and consider subscribing because I'm gonna do a lot more videos like this.
Vision of where they want to go. It's risk, reward, which gives the game an element of strategy and
Here is he's 100% true. This game is a risk reward. If you go to military base, let's say that, and you kill everybody, you're gonna have the best loot in the game. Even if you're a squad, you most likely everybody gonna have at least a 4-time scope and stuff like that. Maybe not everybody gonna have a 4-time, but at least someone, and then you give it to the best person. So I think the high risk, high reward is a good feature in this game because it's really because if you can find loot everywhere, but you can't find if you want to be sure that you find good loot, you have to go to a high populated area.
stakes. The RNG factor that I think does greatly affect who wins and loses is the circle position. I feel like with a lucky circle, a lesser player will gain a large.
Here, I don't think it really matters that much. I think that I I really just think that circle is very good in this game. I think that the randomness makes it so you never safe. You have to, you can't just stay on one position and know that you're safe. You have to keep moving. You have to move. If you want to be safe, move to the middle of the zone. Then you most likely always gonna have. But you're most likely not gonna win if you go to the middle of the circle. It's nearly almost the guy that came late with the circle and stuff like that. Because that a good player can position himself in a good position even if he gets a bad circle, and that is a fact.
Large edge over a better player. One way this can be mitigated is by decreasing the level of randomness of the circle.
Yeah, I said this before. I don't think they should do this because I think that would be stupid. Yes, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that I'm right, but I think that I like to think that I'm right at least.
Which, by the way, is already in the code. They can do this. They can make the circle more in the center of the circle, but still random. This will give players a clear idea of where the best positions to take are probably going to be early.
Yeah, but that's the thing about this game. You never know that you're safe or if you're not safe or whatever. You never know that, and that's the fun thing about this game. You never know that if you're safe or not. You never know where you gotta move next. You have to wait for the circle to close in, and then you see where the circle has moved. And then you have to look at the map, position yourself in a good position, maybe kill someone to take their position, and stuff like that. And I think that's a very good feature to this game.
Early on, even when they see the first circle pop up. So you once again have a risk-reward scenario instead of, oh, look at that, I'm screwed because of a roll of the die. Another way to improve this.
You're not screwed because of the circle. I don't think I ever have been screwed by the circle if it isn't because of the first circle that I'm far away and I don't find a car. Like, that's unlucky by me, but I don't think that's the circle matter that much. I don't think that's the big problem. Circle might have some problems, but I don't think it's a problem in the competitive potential, because it's the same in like CS:GO. If the other team got the timing right, always have the timing and stuff like that, that team most likely gonna win. Like, RNG is in every game, and you can't fix that. That's the fun of the game. Even if you we say that I meet Shroud in a game, he most likely would fuck me over. But if I position myself good enough that I can get behind him, I can kill him, and that's the fun about the game. Even if you're the best player in the world, you're still not gonna win every game.
This is better map design. It's clear that the current map is not the final map. More maps are going to be added to the game, and they'll learn.
Yeah, that's true. I think this map doesn't really have the competitive, and I get with the circle that if you have to run, if it's on an open plane, like, you're screwed. But if they add more terrain to the next map, I think it should be much better, because then they doesn't have to change. I don't want them to change anything if they just do that.
Learn as they go what works the best. I think more cover and more variable height in terrain will provide for a better experience. I also think it's best to get rid of concealment completely and just use cover. Let's be honest, concealment allows for cheap camping tactics, sitting in a bush for it.
I don't think that's a thing they should take away, because sitting in a bush, it's a strategy. It's high risk because you're most likely in the open, so if you take a shot on anybody, you most likely gonna die to somebody else. like, because if you're in the last circle and you're in a bush and you just sit and wait and you see somebody and you shoot him, somebody is most likely gonna hear you, see you shooting on the other guy, and take you out. So I don't think the bushes and stuff like that makes a lot of difference in the competitive potential for PUBG. He has a lot of good points, but I think a lot of the points um, is slightly unnecessary. I maybe should say. I see. You can see that he knows what he's talking about, but some stuff he doesn't really know what he's talking about, because some things isn't just, yeah. I don't know what I was gonna say, but
For example. So that brings up the viewing experience, which is where I think the game has both the most potential and the most problems. Clearly, people are enjoying watching Battlegrounds. It's destroying in Twitch viewership numbers, so
yeah,
it's got that going for it. But after watching the Gamescom PUBG Invitational, a lot of the problems with the game became very clear.
yeah.
The first and foremost is the format. Every other esport either is team-based or 1v1, so you have two teams.
Here, I got sent this clip right here, and here I think he got a good point. I think that first person is. I think when you play for yourself, you can play third person and stuff like that. But in esport, I think first person is the only mode that should be available, because third person isn't a competitive. Plus, in ranks, I think that first person should also only be first person if they add ranks, as well as squads, because it's more strategized and stuff like that. I know that he says this because, yeah, I have watched a little bit of it, and I got sent some clips of it.
Competing with each other or two players competing with each other. This allows for tension to build, for people to really get invested in the matches and the stories, and for a tournament structure with eliminations to happen, narrowing down the players until just the best battle it out in an epic showdown. In Battlegrounds, all of that happens in just one match, which isn't really long enough to span an entire tournament. So
How I think they should set this all up, I think they should have 3 matches, like in the GameCon. I think that was probably the best thing, because then you have like an hour and a half maybe of games, and that's it. And then the 3 best teams, like the team that came first is the winner, and then the second and the third day, like second prize and the third prize. And I think kill points was probably the kill points at the tournament was very bad. I know that he said this too, but he says that. Wait, I'm gonna watch a little bit more and then I'm gonna say my thoughts.
they really do have to get creative with it. The way they did it was kind of goofy. They played 3 matches with everyone in it, and then they had a convoluted scoring system that factored in their placement and their kills. Adding kills to the scoring system is a really bad idea.
Yeah, here it says about the killing. I think killing is probably a good thing in the score, because if you not have that, you're gonna have 100 people or 80 people camp in a corner in a house or something and just sit there, because then you doesn't get any reward for killing. It's just nothing. You don't have to kill anybody. Like, I think that the killing system. I saw a video on this right after the GameCon Invitational, that the scoring system was very unclear, and I see that. And he said something like, they need to, what did he say? Uh, I think he said something like, uh, first 80 to 50, 10 points. 50 to 40, 20 points. 40 to 30, 30 points. 30 to 20, 40 points. 40 to 10, 50 points. And then the last 5 kills should be 100. I think that's a very good, reasonable, because then you want to stay alive. I think they actually can make it better, but that's just like an idea I had. They uh, should have, and when I saw his video, he said something like that too, and I don't know what the guy's name was, but he said something like that too. So I think the scoring system was bad, but I think they should have a more clear scoring system, so the viewer knows what their team has to do, so they can win, or something like that. If they can't win, the viewer knows, like stuff like that. Because if you don't know the rules as a viewer, you're gonna have a much harder time enjoying watching the game.
In my opinion, I'm sure some people disagree with me on this one, but there needs to be a very
Yeah, but the stuff is he says also here that they shouldn't have a whole server. They should have like maybe he's thinking like 20 people, but then it's not battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is 90 people, 100 people joining a server, and then it's like Hunger Game, royals, battle royals. I can't even speak English. I'm so fucking tired. Uh, so yeah, I think that he really should, because if they have like 20 players on a server, it isn't battleground. Battleground is 80 people, 90 people, not 20, 90 people, 100 people battling out on a server. It's not 20 people. Just that's wouldn't be like. Yeah, I don't think that is the good thing to do, because then it's not battleground. Is my thought at least.
clear objective in any competitive game. Kills in Battleground have the benefit of getting better position and getting the equipment of the people that you killed.
But it's a very high risk, especially if you play in a, what should I say? If you play in a tournament with high prize money, you wouldn't take that risk if you didn't get points to come closer to the win. Because if you only get their stuff, like you wouldn't kill them. You saw a lot of people just saw people but didn't shoot because they didn't want to take their position away. So I don't think that's a good, reasonable answer to. I don't think that's a good way to do this. To take off the kill points, because then it's gonna be a camp fest, and who wanna watch a fucking camp fest?
There's no reason to further incentivize it with objective points. The objective is to be the last team standing, to survive as long as possible. That's the point of the game. Also, having a convoluted and unclear scoring system removes a lot of the tension, which hurts the spectator experience. You don't know what a team has to do.
Yeah, but if you have a clear score point, or kill points I should say, you're gonna have, if the viewer knows exactly how many kills their team gets, if they get a kill here, then there's so much better. But the thing about the GameCon Invitational, you didn't know how many what kill point did, how many points like 4 kills would get you, how many points 1 kill would get you, stuff like that. But if you have a clear kill point, I think it would be much better than taking off the kill points.
To win while you're watching it. You can get a scenario where two teams are fighting for the first place spot, but neither team will actually win the series if they win that particular match. So there's no tension there. You don't care. You can compare it to something like golf, but in golf, everybody is doing their own thing, not interacting with each other. They don't knock each other's balls out of the way, no matter how entertaining that would be to watch. Having a team play a match that has zero chance of winning the series also opens up the game to conflicts of interest. It's probably a good idea to avoid the horrible match-fixing scandals that permanently hurt the reputation of CSGO. Let's say that an NA team is still in, but they can't win, and their buddies in the other NA team can win. Well, let's say that one NA team goes out there and plays interference and tries to take out their competitors. You could get a really nasty scenario going on.
I don't think that's like PUBG's. Like, I don't think that's something PUBG have to worry about now. First, they have to worry about like stuff like bugs and stuff like that before like fixing. I don't think even is in the like capture. I don't think you even should think about match fixing. I know a lot of people maybe will do that, but I hope if they do that, they're gonna have get like banned and stuff like that, like in CS:GO, stuff like that. CS:GO have very many bad reputation, like gambling sites, stuff like that. But like you see, CS:GO is still going on, but maybe dying out a little bit. But yeah, I don't think they should do much about that. That's not the biggest threat to PUBG being an esport.
Alright, let's get real here. Third person is the casual mode. Get rid of it for competitive. Every pro Battleground player will probably agree.
I'm not a pro PUBG player, but I 100% agree with this. The third person is nothing competitive about that. Like you can see somebody that can't see you. Somebody can see you when you can see him. Like that's not fair, I think. Like I don't. That's not. I think they still should have a third person, but not in competitive. And if they add ranks, I think if you're gonna have ranks, you should have that in first person, because that's very competitive. Or maybe not. Maybe you can have a rank in third person and a rank in first person. I just thought about it now, actually. That's a pretty good idea. I think we should go with that. Bluehole, hit me up. You know my Twitter. You can tweet me. I can help you with your game. Not really. You're not really gonna send me. But you know, a man can dream.
Me there, and I've made an entire video discussing it. Secondly, I think squad mode is the way to go for esports.
Yeah, I already said this.
In the long run, it will have the higher skill for all of your players, but you also don't want to risk losing players or getting knocked down early. Consider certain roles. This is a new element that hasn't been fully explored yet. From a spectator's perspective, I don't think the Gamescom Invitational did a very good job of showcasing the game, and I don't blame them. It's a really difficult game to observe.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna end the video right here because I don't wanna like. If you wanna see what he said in the last 3 minutes, you're gonna have to watch the video yourself. I'm gonna link the video down below. His name is WarOwls. He's a CS:GO YouTuber, so this maybe is new for him. I don't know, but I think he did a very good job, and he had some very good points, but some of them was really, I don't know, really not that good. But I think some of the most of his points was very good, and I hope he watches this video and takes my feedback. And I just have to say, Voral, I watched your CS:GO videos, and you were the guy that took me into CS:GO and stuff like that, and gaming and YouTube. So I'm very grateful for that. And I actually haven't watched you in a very long time, but I saw that you started uploading PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds videos. So yeah, I hope that you take this in, and I hope that I you understand me, because I don't talk that good English. I'm from Sweden. Some of you might know that. So yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing. Like this video for more videos like this, where I talk about the PUBG's potential and stuff like that, stuff that's need to be fixed, stuff that I don't like about the game, stuff like that. And comment your thoughts about down below if you think that WarOwls had, where I was criticizing WarOwls. Uh, if you think that I was wrong and he was right, comment that down below. And I hope you guys enjoy. See you guys in the next video. Peace. And wait, I haven't ended the video. I haven't, wait, I haven't ended the video yet. Okay, so I'm hosting a giveaway. Just go into the link in the this video. This will take you to a video where I talk about the giveaway, and just do the steps, and you can join the giveaway. And don't forget, if you want to have a part of, I know that a lot of people have joined the giveaway, but if you want to win this giveaway, you have to also follow my Twitch. Okay, I know no one has actually followed my Twitch yet, so go in the description of this video and follow my Twitch. I have begun to stream a little bit, not every day, but some days when I have time I'm gonna be streaming, so I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry if I didn't upload yesterday, I had a lot to do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.